Good day everyone. This is my final examination requirement in operating system. What why is the operating system important? The operating system acts as manager of for the IO device memory, CPU, file storage resources and allocates them to specific programs and users whenever necessary to perform a particular task. Therefore, the operating system is the resource manager that means it can manage the resources of a computer system internally. The operating systems are important and should be correctly used when writing the user application. Large and complex systems have high economic impact and it results in interesting problems of management. Few systems are involved in the design and implementation of OS, but nevertheless, many general techniques have to be learned and applied. Operating systems combine concepts from many other areas of computer science, architecture, languages, data structures, algorithms, etc. So finally, we can say that an operating system is the most important software that runs on any system. It manages a computer resources like memory, processes involve software and hardware. Operating systems provide an interface to communicate with the computer without leaving the computer's language. For example, machine language. Basically, an operating system provides a layer between the program and hardware to enable a program to use standard interface irrespective of what hardware is used. What is GUI? A GUI or graphical user interface is a system of interactive visual components for computer software. A GUI displays objects that convey information and represents actions that can be taken by the user. The objects change color, size, or visibility when the user interacts with them. The GUI was first developed at Xerox PARC by Alan Kay, Douglas Engelbert, and the group of other researchers in 1981. Later, Apple introduced the Lisa computer with a GUI on January 19, 1983. A GUI includes GUI objects like icons, cursors, and buttons. These graphical elements are sometimes enhanced with sounds or visual effects like transparency and drop shadows. Using this object, a user can use the computer without having to know commands. Next. Wait. So what is virtual memory? Virtual memory is a memory management technique where secondary memory can be used as if it were a part of the main memory. Virtual memory is a common technique used in a computer's operating system. Virtual memory uses both hardware and software to enable a computer to comprehensive for physical memory shortage, temporarily transferring data from a random access memory or RAM to disk storage. Mapping chunks of memory to disk files enables a computer to treat secondary memory as though it were main memory. Today, most personal computers come with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, but sometimes this is not enough to run several programs at one time. This is where virtual memory comes in. Virtual memory frees up RAM by swapping data that has not been used recently over to a storage device, such as hard drive or solid state drive or SSD. Virtual memory is important for improving system performance, multitasking, and using large programs. However, users should not overly rely on virtual memory, since it is considerably slower than RAM. If the OS has to swap data between virtual memory and RAM too often, the computer will begin to slow down. This is called thrashing. Virtual memory was developed at a time when physical memory, also referenced as RAM, was expensive. Computers have a finite amount of RAM, so memory will eventually run out when multiple programs run at the same time. A system using virtual memory uses a section of the hard drive to emulate RAM. With a virtual memory, a system can load larger or multiple programs running at the same time, enabling each one to operate as if it has space without having to purchase more RAM. What are the different types of kernel? Kernel is the central component of an operating system that manages operation of computer and hardware. So next slide. There are types of kernel: monolithic kernel, microkernel, hybrid, exo, and nano kernel. First, monolithic. It is one of the types of kernel where all operating system services to operate in kernel space. Second, it is the microkernel is the kernel types which has minimalist approach. Hybrid is the combination of both monolithic kernel and microkernel. Exokernel is the type of kernel which follows end-to-end principle. Nano is the type of kernel that offers hardware abstraction but without system services. Next. What is the difference between the threads and process? Threads is the segment of process means a process can have multiple threads and these multiple threads are continued within a process. While process means any program is in execution. It takes more time to terminate, time for creation, more time for context switching, and less efficient in terms of communication. And that's all. Thank you for listening.